Okay guys, welcome back. This is Two Cherries Instruments. We build instruments the modern way with CNCs and CAD and CAM. We're here in Fusion 360. We're going to be getting out in the shop today and actually cutting something, so that's going to be exciting. All this Fusion 360 is great, but it's nice to vary it with a little bit of some more interesting content. So we'll get out there and we'll cut these jigs. So today we're going to be cutting these bending jigs. Typically on a violin, the ribs for the instrument are hand bent on a bending iron and then fit into the mold that we made just 2 episodes ago. So I prefer to bend with the silicone bending blanket and a mold. This is how I've been doing my guitars and mandolins, and I really enjoy the process. It's very repeatable. It's very accurate. And we went through all that process of making those proportional drawings, and those proportional drawings just made it really easy to create these molds. So we have all these really nice parallel surfaces to each one of the arcs that we drew. I can continue an arc out so that my bending jig continues that same arc, so hopefully it fits into the corner blocks really well. So this is the upper and lower bout bending jig that I've designed here. So here's the C bout jig. So let's look at the cam really quick. Right here. So it's pretty straightforward cam, pocket with a few contours. I'll just speed this way up. As far as work holding goes, I'll be using the super glue tape trick that I use for everything pretty much. And I'm also going to be adapting the Z height so that I don't cut completely through this material. That way I have something to support it. I'll just clean up the rest with the oscillating spindle sander at the end. So there's the other one. So pretty simple, same thing, just pocket contour. There's no pockets in this one, just contours. And okay, let's export this code, and we'll go in the shop and cut these. Got my stock glued up. This is just some MDF. I've got 5 layers of MDF glued up over the size of the stock list from those 2 parts that we're going to cut. I've gone ahead and used the joiner to clean up 2 surfaces, so I've got a nice square edge to work from to mount that on the CNC machine. That just makes it easier for me. So let's get this on the machine and start cutting. Okay guys, so we built this bending jig. I cut a couple of test pieces and bent them up just to see how it was going to work. I thought that the C bending jig was going to be too small to handle, so I ended up mounting it to this piece of wood that I put in my end vise, and then it worked out really good. I made a little modification for clamping. I may redesign this C bending jig to accommodate some issues, but it does work. I was able to bend this C rib piece, and it was really quick and easy. Here's my upper and lower bout piece. So I've got another couple pieces of stock here to show you guys how to bend the other sides, and just to let you know what the dimension is. We have, so what are we at here? We're at 0.05, 0.0587. So really close to 0.6, about 1.5 millimeters, the average size for kind of a thicker rib. So perfect for a test piece. So let's bend these and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, well, that was relatively easy to do. The jigs worked as I anticipated for the most part. You can see on this C-bout jig, this part just conformed perfectly to the mold. I'm really happy with that. I thought this was going to be a lot harder than it was, and it ended up being really easy. The upper and lower bouts are looking really good. They're really accurate. Each one of these, what I've done is I've bent them with the aluminum foil in the water, and on the jig with the silicone bending blanket. And then I've driven off as much water as I think I possibly can. Then I've removed the blanket and the aluminum foil and clamped it back in the jig and just let that sit overnight for each one of them. So worked really good. So these test pieces are a success, and we're going to move on to modeling the neck in the next step. So we'll be doing the neck and the scroll back to some Fusion 360 work, and I hope you enjoy it. Please like and subscribe, and thanks.